Read this carefully. Every single word cost me everything. Fingers typed slowly. Deleted everything twice. Started over again. Courage gathered barely. Enough sending this message toward you, knowing you might never even open. Notification sitting there, unread, quietly waiting. Delivered yet ignored. Possibility terrifies completely. Yet silence became unbearable, heavier than rejection, fear daily. Risking everything, therefore, sending words, carrying weight, months accumulated, pressing upon chest nightly without relief, granted through sleep, even dreams refused, offering escape, thoughts, circling endlessly returning, persistently toward you, regardless direction steered, consciousness elsewhere, deliberately, attempting distraction nothing, succeeded long enough, mattering, truly helping, genuinely forget temporarily. Something pulled constantly back toward remembering you specifically, always, unavoidably, persistently, completely. Days passed counting since last conversation exchanged between us. Number grew steadily. Each morning, waking, calculating involuntarily, automatically. Habit formed without permission granted consciously. Mind keeping track, independently recording duration. Absence stretched across. Calendar marking passage. Indifferently, time moves, regardless whether broken. Heart's request pausing. Momentum continues forward, carrying everything along, unwillingly dragged through ordinary, unremarkable moments, contrasting painfully against extraordinary previous ones, shared alongside you, before everything changed, suddenly without warning, adequate preparation offered, beforehand, nothing prepared, adequately, this particular specific kind loss. Unlike other griefs encountered previously, this carried ambiguity alongside sharp pain, uncertainty, whether mourning appropriate, considering nothing technically ended, formally declared, finished, officially over, simply silence replaced, conversation without explanation, offered helping understand, closure denied completely, healing requiring foundation, missing underneath everything, attempted building since shaky ground shifting beneath feet planted, attempting steady standing without sufficient support provided beneath weight, carried along daily, phone checked obsessively, hoping notification appeared, screen remaining dark, disappointingly, consistently, cruelly, routine developed around checking, hoping, noticing, absence feeling something, resembling grief dressed, differently wearing face, anticipation borrowed clothes, disguising true nature, poorly seen through, quickly, honestly, clearly, wanting, reach out, thousand separate occasions, stopping each time, pride, intervening fear, accompanying close behind, together forming barrier, difficult crossing alone, without guaranteed welcome, awaiting other side, uncertainty paralyzed repeatedly until tonight something shifted, breaking pattern, established months holding back what needed, saying desperately, urgently, pouring outward, finally, through trembling fingers, typing what heart rehearsed countless times, never actually sending, draft folder filled, unsent messages collecting, digital graveyard holding every honest attempt made expressing truth, buried beneath courage, lacking completing act, sending, reaching out, crossing bridge burned, apparently yet perhaps smoldering, rather destroyed, completely embers remaining, suggesting rebuilding possible, theoretically, if both sides willing, attempting reconstruction together equally, invested effort required, cannot accomplish alone, needing partnership, cooperation, mutual willingness shared, desire rebuilding what collapsed between two people once connected deeply, genuinely, undeniably. Remember specific afternoon, light fell differently, conversation flowed effortlessly, neither noticing hours, dissolving around naturally, world narrowed, containing only that exchange, mattering entirely, completely. Everything peripheral disappeared. Irrelevant background noise, fading completely presence, absorbing total attention, willingly surrendered gladly, unaware time passing, unaware anything existing, beyond immediate conversation happening between us, captured, completely absorbed, fully without reservation, holding nothing protected, behind careful walls, built habitually against others naturally, easily, dismantled without noticing, defenses falling quietly, unannounced, unexpected, swiftly, revealing vulnerability beneath, ordinarily protected carefully, guarded consistently, thoroughly, against potential damage. Exposure inevitably brings trusting somehow anyway, despite inherent risk, accompanying openness always. Vulnerability requires courage, rarely acknowledged properly. Opening genuinely toward another person constitutes bravest act possible, regardless outcome following afterward, whether welcomed, warmly received, kindly, or dismissed coldly. Act itself courageous, deserving recognition given, rarely acknowledged sufficiently, laughter shared together, specifically yours echoing persistently within memory, refusing fading despite months elapsed since last hearing directly, unrecorded, unfiltered, genuine, sound remembered precisely, vividly complete detail, retained against erosion, time typically delivers, memory remarkable holding particular things longer than others, seemingly random selection occurring actually follows logic, emotional significance determining duration, retention, things mattering deeply preserved, longest, most carefully, trivial details fade, meaningful ones stay, permanence revealing priority, held within subconsciously, beyond conscious control, operating independently, preserving what mattered most against deliberate forgetting. Attempted unsuccessfully repeatedly, your voice stays. Certain phrases spoken casually without knowing, impact delivered permanently, etching deeply within, consciousness stored carefully against eventual need, retrieving comfort contained within remembered sound, visiting regularly nightly, uninvited yet welcomed, ambivalently, simultaneously wanting, forgetting desperately clinging, contradiction living within, grief stages overlap, refusing neat, sequential, progression promised theoretically, reality messier, harder, non linear, unpredictable ambushing, unexpected moments triggering waves overwhelming previously, calmed waters disturbing, without warning arriving, song playing somewhere, nearby triggering avalanche, memory cascading unstoppably, scent passing stranger, wearing identical fragrance, stopping breath completely, momentarily suspended recognition, striking before conscious. Mind processes what happened, instinct responding, before thought engaged, ambush impossible defending against effectively, completely, unannounced, penetrating defenses, constructed laboriously since the solution began painfully, mutual spaces visited, deliberately avoided carefully, routes altered, preventing accidental encounters possibility, managed through geography, rerouting daily paths around the potential meeting points, exhausting, maintaining vigilance required constantly against random chance, bringing together unwillingly before readiness arrived, handling encounter gracefully, composure maintained outwardly, despite internal collapse, threatening externally visible, expression revealing truth, concealed behind practiced, neutral expression worn, protecting dignity, preserving whatever remained salvageable beneath circumstances created jointly, neither entirely, responsible blame distributed unevenly, perhaps neither, perfectly innocent, completely, shared responsibility acknowledged, honestly, privately, quietly, within honest reflection, undertaken during sleepless hours, examining everything, microscopically without mercy, shown towards self. Throughout painful process, mistakes catalog listed, regret attached firmly, each itemized entry, judgment applied harshly, severity exceeding warranted, amount deserved fairly, punishing beyond reasonable. Self-reflection requires balance, honest accounting neither, excusing nor destroying, perspective maintain difficulty, when examining failures, objectively, fairly clearly, growth requires honest assessment, mistakes made without cruelty applied toward self throughout, examination undertaken bravely, changed since then, growth occurred genuinely, painful transformation producing, different person emerging, recognizably same yet, fundamentally altered, refined, through fire endured. Crucible, forging character. Strength, previously untested, revealed through difficulty. Navigated alone mostly, without support network. Available adequately, helping, surviving nonetheless proving. Resilience, existing beneath, doubted surface capability. Demonstrated through endurance, extended beyond expected. Duration, capacity held longer than anticipated. Possible carrying weight, accumulated across months. Wishing sharing burden alongside someone trusted. Carrying together having, effectively making manageable what overwhelmed individually, born alone stubbornly, pride preventing asking, help vulnerability requiring, admitting need existed, difficulty accepting dependence, lesson learned slowly, painfully through isolation, chosen unnecessarily over, connection available offered, rejected through stubbornness, regretted subsequently, completely, friends noticed changes occurring within atmosphere, carried publicly outward, mood shifting visibly, despite concealment attempted, comments arrived carefully, worded questioning gently, whether everything remained, well, deflected skillfully, convincingly enough, satisfying, surface curiosity temporarily, deeper probing avoided, successfully through distraction, employed expertly redirecting attention toward others, topics deflecting inward, focus successfully preventing exposure unwanted vulnerability, revealed publicly prematurely, protecting privacy processing, required happening internally before external sharing, appropriate became possible, nights stretched longest, silence amplifying thoughts, daytime noise suppressed, surfacing urgently demanding, attention previously denied, throughout busy hours, filled deliberately avoiding, confrontation requiring darkness, enforcing quiet providing, no escape available, processing unavoidable commenced, whether welcomed